It's your business, and it seems like almost everyone you talk to these days feels like they are just too busy. And here to tell us more about that is Ron Price of Price Associates. And Ron, thanks again for coming in today. Now, is that your experience, though, as a management consultant and executive coach, that people tell you, I just don't have time?
Yeah, a lot of times when we first sit down with a new client, we say, well, what matters to you? What are the stresses? What are the things that you worry about? And almost everybody says, I need to figure out how to manage my time, my email, my voicemail, all these different things that are bombarding us from every side. And they all talk about time management. And what's funny about it, Doug, is none of us can manage time. It just keeps ticking.
But what do you mean by that, though? I mean, because you hear so much about it these days. It's time management, time management, time management. What's a different way to think about it?
Well, it's really about managing ourselves. Because time, we all have the same amount of time. You can't lengthen or shorten time. It's the same for everybody. So it's how we manage our activities and our energy in relationship to time. And most of the training that you go to, if you go to a time management seminar, is teaching you about how to better organize your activities, how to prioritize, how to make to-do lists, how to keep your calendar. It's all about managing these tasks. And even though there's a lot of value in that, in our work with executives, what we've discovered is that it's much more significant to talk about how do we manage our energy.
Please expound on that, because that's an interesting concept.
Yeah, well, I first began to learn about this from two guys, Jack Grapple and Jim Lahr. They worked with world-class athletes, and they were working with athletes that were in the top 10 of the tennis world, or in the top 10 of golf, or in the NFL, and for them, a little bit of difference in performance made the difference between first and second place.
Sure.
And so they were dialed in on what is the thing that we can do that helps them the most to perform at the highest possible level. And they discovered that there were these 4 different dimensions of energy that they help the athletes manage.
And the first one is physical.
The first one is physical energy, which is obvious for an athlete, but it's also true for us at the office. It has to do with, are we getting adequate rest? Are we eating the right kinds of foods? Are we exercising properly? It's all of these things that relate to how we take care of our body, which affect our energy. You know, if you don't feel good, it's hard to do your best work.
And then that goes right into emotional energy.
Emotional energy is mostly about our mindset, our attitude, and our relationships. If I'm in conflict all the time, if I just had a big fight with my wife before I come to work, is it possible that that could color the way I lead, the way I make decisions at work? So managing emotional energy is about maintaining an even keel and about not letting your emotions get ahead of your logic in your decision making, but letting your emotions follow behind your logic.
And you hear so much too about don't bring home to work, or vice versa. Not always easy to do.
Easier said than done.
Yeah, intellectual energy.
Intellectual energy is about always be learning, being curious, having a commitment to continuous and disciplined learning. I used to say, well, that you're always learning, and then I found some people were reading novels or reading comic books or reading romance. You know, well, that is learning, but it's disciplined learning. I like to teach our clients how to develop a strategic learning plan so that what they're learning is actually going to have exponential value down the road.
And then spiritual energy, the fourth.
Spiritual energy is about being connected to a higher purpose. It's about feeling that what you're doing matters, and no matter what religion you look at, every religion somehow begins to bring honor to your daily work because it serves a higher purpose. It works toward a higher purpose. So spiritual energy is about staying dialed in with that higher purpose and not thinking that your work is unimportant.
I got to bring this up. I saw you over here during the break. You were working with your BlackBerry or your PDA, whatever you had with you. Have you found in your experience that those help productivity, hurt, or you know, how much of an impact is that having on the work world?
Well, it really depends on the person. It depends on whether you rule your tools or your tools rule you. So in my case, most of the time it's a great benefit to me because I'm during a time that normally I wouldn't be able to get anything done. I was doing a little bit of task management, really managing my energy. But if I let that control me, if I suddenly feel that it's in charge and I have to bow to it, then it's no longer serving a higher purpose.
Managing the energy that you use with your BlackBerry. Thanks, Ron Price, once again. And we will be right back.